All right, let's just do a quick rundown of what sigma notation is. All right, so sigma notation, this is just a shorthand way to write out a sum of many things together. So the sigma notation starts with, a capital sigma, and then we write down the things that we're adding up, and we write it down in kind of a generic formula. All right. So this AI here, this would be some formula with i's in it that when we plug in numbers for I, we end up with, numbers out of it. Right. So if we plug in 1, we get the number A1, whatever that number is. When we plug in 2, we get some other number that we're going to call A2. Plug in 3, we get some number called A3. And so on, all the way up through AN. Right? This notation on the sigma here, the I equals 1 on the bottom says, all right, start with I equals 1 and keep plugging in the next number until we get all the way up to n. Right? So here we started with 1, and then we kept plugging in the next number for I until we got all the way to n. All right? So this is sort of the starting place and the ending place for the sum. And the index here, I, is just what we keep plugging into. So let's see how that happens with some specific sums. So here we're just adding up from I equals 1 to 4, we're adding up I. All right, so what does that look like? Well, we start by plugging in 1, and then plus, plug in the next number, which is 2, plus, plug in the next number, which is 3, plus plug in the next number, which is 4, and 4 is the last number here, so we stop there. Add those up and we get 10. All right, for the next one here, let's look at something maybe slightly more involved. All right, we'll look at the sum from 0 to 5 of 2i squared. Okay. So here we're just going to plug in various numbers, starting at 0, going all the way up to 5. Right, so start at 0, plug that in, plug 0 in, we're here. The next number is 1, plug that in. The next number is 2, plug that in. The next number is 3, plug that in. Next number is 4. And then finally we get to 5, plug that in, we're there. And then we're going to add all of those numbers along the way. Right? And then, we do some simplification here, compute this thing, and bam, 110. Right? So let's do one here where we actually work out the process live. This was actually done live, but the video got corrupted. So we'll do one more here just to sort of see it work out by hand. All right? Let's look at one that's like the sum, the sum from I equals 1 to, let's do a quick one. I equals 1 to 3 of, let's say I cubed minus 4i. All right, so it's quite possible to get something like this. Right? So when we compute this, again, we're just going to start at the first number here, which is 1, and keep plugging it in until we get to the last number, which is 3. All right? So plug in I equals 1. We have 1 cubed minus 4 times 1, plus 2 cubed minus 4 times 2, plus 3 cubed minus 4 times 3, right? So this is negative 3, plus this here is 0, plus, let's see, this is 27 minus 12, so 15. So this adds up to 12. All right. Okay. So that's a quick little rundown of what sigma notation is. Hopefully that helps sort out any confusion that might come up.